Hey guys, today I'm at the Helotes Powerlines. One of my favorite spots to hike. Lots of hills, so I'm already huffing and puffing right now. I just started. My name is James. I've been living in San Antonio for about 9 years. I served in the Army from 2010 to 2016. Then once I got out, I moved to San Antonio. We really like it here. Me and my family have enjoyed San Antonio a lot, and I'm looking forward to showing you and your family what is out here and give you a little tour of what to expect. The Helotes Powerlines, as you can see there's power lines, is formerly used for a Jeep trail, but a lot of locals come here to hike, enjoy the views. It's about a 6-mile trip out and back, and there's some neighborhoods that have access to this trail. All right, if this is the first time visiting my channel and you want to learn all there is about San Antonio, Texas, and what's around and where the locals go and the best place to run, hike, go ahead and subscribe and like and get notifications so you keep up to date with the market and what's going on over here. I'm looking forward to showing you these neighborhoods, and let's dive in. All right, let's talk about these neighborhoods. The Ridge at Sonoma, Verde. This neighborhood, the past year, 11 homes sold. The price range is based off of like condition of the home, size of the home, and if there's been any updates or anything like that. The year built is 2007. So getting back to the price, the price range goes from like 500 to a little under $1 million. So that's a pretty big, price range. The average time it takes to sell a home in this neighborhood is about 60 days, so about 2 months. So in 2 months, you receive an offer and you have another 30 days or 45 days to close, hopefully. That's kind of like how it's broken down. And then on top of that, a lot of the homes don't sell for the full asking price. In fact, the listing price is usually short 4% lower than the offer price or the selling price. Cool thing is there's a golf course right here too. Black and Terra golf course. If you're a golfer, that's pretty cool too. And also the concessions. Concessions is someone like a seller providing credit to the buyer. That credit to buyer is on average about $9,000. So at the end of the day, when you're listing your house in this neighborhood, you got to factor in on the selling side. You have to factor in like what you're going to clear at the end of the day. It's including the average concession, the fees, all that. On the buyer side, you have to look at that and be like, all right, so I could get $9,000 for closing costs or rate buy down, and utilize that money for a lower monthly payment or just less upfront when you purchase the house. When you have those type of numbers, days on market and concessions being paid at that high, it typically is shifting closer to a buyer's market, which means the buyers have a little bit more advantage in this neighborhood. So let's talk about Sonoma Mesa. Sonoma Mesa, only 3 homes sold in that neighborhood in the past year. So not many homes have sold. The average price range is around 550 to 650, with around 3,000 to 4,000 square feet homes. It's also one of the communities that has entrances to the power lines. Homes were fairly new, about 2013, so 10 years old. This neighborhood, I would take this as more of a seller's market. Anything else, because the concessions on average is $2,000, which is very little. And also the list, usually when a seller lists their home, it's only the sold price is usually only 3% less than what they ask. And now we're at the turnaround. You have to hit it, now you can run back. All right, reserve at Sonoma Verde. This neighborhood is elite. There's about only 1 home sold in the last year, 12 months, which is crazy. And get this, the stats on this one is that it was full asking price, sold for $1 million. A lot of these homes are massive, and days on market was only about 40 days, which for $1 million property, that is excellent, because most homes that are $1 million plus are going to sit on the market for a while. And that's just because of the economy. You got to think about this. How many people are millionaires? How many people make over 500,000 in San Antonio, Texas? Probably not that many. I think majority make about 60 to 70,000 on average. So you're looking at more buyers at maybe the $300,000 to $500,000 range, and then you're going to be looking at very few buyers at the $1 million range. Let's discuss Sonoma Ranch for a little bit. If you're a buyer, this is the place to go. I'll tell you why. The details, the stats, just makes sense. In the last year, 12 months, 63 homes sold. It's a large community. Buyers have a big advantage in this neighborhood, mainly because the concessions that the sellers are offering, on average, it's about $9,000. The home prices range from, get this, $250,000 to about $1.5 million. So you have homes that are ranging from 2,000 square feet all the way up to 4,500 square feet, which the highest concession out of all these neighborhoods I'm talking about is Sonoma Ranch. It was $33,000. That's the seller giving $33,000 to the buyer for closing costs, repairs, or whatever. $33,000. Usually the higher end concessions are properties that cost more. So if you're in the millions, $33,000 is, quite decent. All right, Fossil Springs. 21 homes sold in this neighborhood in the last 12 months, which means it's a pretty active market there. The price range in Fossil Springs is about $370,000 to about $500,000. All right, and it's muddy right here, so just give me a break. The homes are 2,000 to 3,500 square feet. It takes about 50 days to sell on the market, which is really good, actually. So about a little over a month. If you're planning on selling in Fossil Springs, you're not going to get a full price offer in this neighborhood. On average, it's 3% below the asking price. Yikes. All right. Fossil Springs Ranch. Only 8 homes sold here in the past 12 months. Fossil Springs Ranch is same thing as Fossil Springs, but homes range from $450,000 to $750,000. Not as many homes sold here, so it's not as active. But for a seller, you're almost getting asking price. When you list a home in Fossil Springs Ranch, instead of getting lowballed 3%, which is not huge, but like you're only getting lowballed about like 1% on average. And not to say you get lowballed 3%, but like, you know, you're getting closer to the 100% range where it's almost asking price. The homes were built in about 2000, so it's about 25 years old. Floor plans range from about 2,500 square feet to 3,500 square feet. On the concession side, you're looking at about $6,000 on average, giving to sellers, crediting buyers. And like I said before, you always want to include that in the seller's net sheet to make sure that the seller, you are aware of what is going to be cleared at the end of the day. Now on the buying side, there's also a buyer's net sheet, and you can use that where the fund is going, where the money is going. Is it going to the rate buy down? Is it going to closing costs? And it shows you how much you will have to spend out of pocket at closing. So those are key things to know before you go to the closing. Acadia Heights Estates. Now, this neighborhood is $1 million neighborhood. One home sold in the last year for about $940,000. It's only on the market for about 60 days, 65 days. On average, you're gonna get about 3,000 to 5,000 square feet in this neighborhood with an acre lot. You're gonna have, 1.5 acres, 2 acres. But the key thing to keep in mind about homes in this area, including this neighborhood, is how much usable land do you have? Usable meaning, can your kids go out there and play? Or is it just a view of an acre and you have a little grass yard? So keep that in mind when you're looking into this area. As you can tell, there's a lot of hills, a lot of neighborhoods to choose from. But if you're like me, I'm all about usable land. I want to be able to have a pool, let my kids play in the backyard. Having a hill is great, but it's really just kind of dangerous. I don't want my kids rolling down the hill and have to go to the ER every weekend or every day. I don't know, but yeah, it's just kind of things to think about in this area. It's not much to consider, but it is like a really high-end neighborhood and doesn't take too long to sell. There's no concessions being made in this neighborhood. That's a very simple neighborhood to cover. If you enjoyed this video and you want to hear more about different neighborhoods in San Antonio that have awesome features like this type of park, then go ahead and subscribe. If you want to book a 15-minute consultation, hit this QR code. You could book a Zoom call with me for 15 minutes. You'd be surprised what you can cover in 15 minutes. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and maybe I'll see you out on the trails.